Hello and welcome back to this fourth video of the PHP tutorial. In this video we're going to keep looking at forms, especially because forms are how everything is done in the web server. In any kind of like website you look at, let's say Twitter or Facebook, when you retweet a tweet you're doing a form, you're sending a form. When you like a post you're doing a form. When you send a comment to some sort of a photo on Facebook, that's a form as well. So we have to focus on forms, and even though some people may not like them, you will get used to them and you actually will like them. So let's keep going with this idea that we have a blog and we're trying to let the users subscribe to our newsletter. So well, at the moment we have something that I don't particularly like from a website. So let's say we send the email and the name, it's sending us to a different site. Okay, and that's just me doing stuff here, so we can forget about that. Okay, so it just redirecting us to a different site. But when you subscribe to a newsletter, you don't want to see any action at all. You just want to put your email, your name, even a password if you want to, and that's it. Just click send and keep on the same website. You don't want to go to a different website. So that's what we're going to do today. Also, we're going to look into how hackers do cross-site scripting and so on and so forth. So well, the first thing we want to do is we don't want to go to the same site. We don't want to go to welcome.php. We want to go to index.php. And also we don't really want to send information through a get request. I think it makes more sense to send this information through a post request. So what's the first thing we want to do? Well, we're sending this information through the very same file. So maybe what we could do is check what kind of request the user is doing. So if it's doing a post request, let's say with this action, this form, let's just go and check if the user is sending an information, and if it is, do something with that information, the name and the email. So we could open the PHP brackets. Whoops, I'm really bad at these things. Okay, so we can do something really cool. There's this super global variable called server that has tons of information about us, the IP address, what site we're on at the moment, etc, etc. So it's very cool what the amount of information this variable has. So we're trying to check the request method. So we're saying, okay, at the moment this variable has information about what kind of request method we're using, and we're trying to check if the request method is equal to post. Okay, so let's do a little example. If the request method is equal to post, we're going to display some data. So let's just do send in your info dot. Okay, so now we're not seeing anything. Oh, wait a minute, I need to reload from the very beginning. Okay, and that is because it was still doing a post request. So we haven't seen anything. At the moment we have a name. If we reload, nothing happened. We're quite happy. But once we send this file, let's say we put a name and we'll put an email, we click subscribe, and ta-da, this shows up. So what we're doing is we're sending a request. So now in this block, okay, we can try to do some sort of we could call it a maths and different equations that we can put together to make this I don't know, show the information. Oh yeah, you have been subscribed, your name is this and the other. Very cool. Well, the first thing we want to do at the moment is get the name of the user. How do we get the name of the user from an input? Well, we did that the last time. Because we're sending this through a post request, we can use the post super global variable and get, remember, we can use the name of the input type, and now name has that variable, and then we can get email, and again we can use that post variable, and we get that too. So now what kind of information we want to do with this? At the moment we're not connected to any kind of database, so we cannot save the information, but we will do that later in the course. But at the moment we want to keep that information. Let's just say, oh, we want to check if the user has inputted anything at all. let's say, because let's say for now we click name, blah blah blah, email, blah blah blah. But let's say the user doesn't put an email. We don't want to send them, we don't want to tell them, oh, thank you for doing this, when they don't have an email. We want to tell them, excuse me, you did not put your email, so we want you to put the email. So let them know. How do we do that? Well, for now we're gonna use functions. Okay, so what's a function? Because we haven't looked into that yet. A function is a block of instructions that can be run multiple times through different parts of any file, and we can repeat information. Okay, so let's say for example we want to check that name is not empty. Okay, so we can just call it test input, and this test input is going to get some data. Okay, and if you're not comfortable with functions, you don't know what they are, please look into them, because I'm assuming you know what functions are. So we have a function that is going to be called test input, and it's going to get data as an input, and this data is going to go through a lot of processes. First of all, we don't want the user just to input a space, we want them to input information. So there's a function called trimp that PHP gives us, that this function is going to delete all white spaces. Also, because you know in the name you don't really want, well, you could have like two names, but for now we just have like the first name, so we don't want any white spaces. Then also data, we can get rid of slashes, so there's a function called strip lashes, strip slashes, yeah, that's a good one. And it's going to get data as well, and it's going to return it, so we're going to get rid of any backlashes just in case the user is trying to hack into it, put any scripts into our input. Also data, we could get rid of the special characters. There's a function called HTML special cards that will get rid of any kind of special characters like backlashes, semicolons, etc, etc. Okay, and then we're going to return data. Okay, so now instead of just putting post, instead of saying name is equal to that, we can actually do test input and pass our value. Okay, and we're gonna get something in return. Whoops. And we can do the exact same here. Okay, so at the moment we're just getting this information, doing something with it like trim the value, getting rid of special characters, etc, etc, and just saving it into this variable here. Now for now we're gonna leave the video here. We're gonna keep on doing a second part of this video in tomorrow. You'll see it tomorrow. And yep, I hope you liked the video. If you didn't, just let me know and give me some feedback, and if you did, please well let me know as well, or like the video. Well, yeah, there's no really point of liking videos, but yeah, it makes me happy, and I hope you liked it, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.